This morning, the island of Siargao experienced a 6.2 earthquake on the Richter scale. It was about 7:03 when we felt it hit, and this is the first time things have actually fallen off the shelves in our house. So one of our ornaments fell over and our coffee grinder fell off the shelf and slammed onto the kitchen top. And normally when we experience this level of earthquake, it doesn't actually cause anything to fall down. So that's how you know that either the earthquake is closer to you or it is higher in severity. So it's a bit unsettling because we've been having a lot of earthquakes here in the Philippines over the last few weeks. Massive one in Cebu, then a massive one in Davao, and then another one in Davao that was a big aftershock, and now right here on the island of Siargao. I've been getting lots of messages from our subscribers and followers. You guys have been sending your concerns, so I wanted to update you straight away and just show you what's going on the island right now. There has been no tsunami alert, and the earthquake actually had an epicenter which was around about there, right in the center of our frame, down by those islands in the distance. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see over there. That's where the earthquake hit. It has been about an hour and a half since the earthquake happened. And generally what we do when we experience this is we move very quickly to a central wall area in the house because it's the quickest place to get to, and then we get down low. So I was already awake at the computer. I quickly rushed Juniper over to the interior wall, put her in her go chair, and we just kind of all rushed to this one central point because we know that if a roof collapses down on you in an earthquake, it's most likely that the outer walls will fail and the interior will create like a kind of triangle of life, they call it, and the interior supporting wall is the least likely to collapse. So if you're by an interior supporting wall, if the roof falls down, it will fall down and create this triangle vacuum. So that's the first thing that we do, and then pretty much straight after the shaking ends, we rush outside. Now you're probably wondering why I've got no footage of this. They're so quick. This morning's one, it probably lasted no longer than 10-15 seconds. By the time you even think about grabbing a device, it's way safer for you to get to safety. So I basically didn't have time to film it. If it was one of those things that carried on for a long time, there would have been footage. But as you can see from these clips that we filmed of the house, there has been no additional structural damage. All of the cracks that you can see in this footage are from before and are general wear and tear for a concrete house. It's been like this for probably two and a half years and hasn't got that much worse since that time. So we feel okay. There's been no aftershock as of yet, but we will keep you updated. I just wanted to send a video as soon as possible to answer all of you guys in one go, because replying to hundreds of messages, it makes way more sense to just give you an update from the island. Some of the things that we do for preparedness here, Sacha is part of a disaster reduction risk group on Facebook, which is basically set up by some of the local mums here, and they all share updates with each other on how to reduce the risk of not being in communication with people in a situation like this. It definitely helps to have that community support there with you, and you know that somebody is looking out for you and you're looking out for them. The family that lives here and looks after us are all fine, and we're all on the lookout for possible tsunami warnings and alerts. So at this time of day, I always check the tide, and I can see that it's supposed to be low tide, and it is still low tide. So if I saw that it was supposed to be low tide and it looked like it was high tide, it would be definitely an anomaly and we would start acting accordingly. Something people often ask us as well, why are you still by the coast? Why don't you get to higher ground? And it just so happens that in this local vicinity, like where we are, our house and this hill here is actually the highest ground we could get to without driving through like a trough or a valley. So it makes more sense for us to actually stay at home, and possibly if waters were to rise from there all the way up to the house, even if that could even be possible, the safest thing for us to do would be to actually try and climb on top of our own house. That is our actual disaster plan if there was a tsunami, but there's been no updates from the government, and the family here is doing normal stuff, just getting on with their day. I'll take a walk through to where our house is to show you what's going on the land, and we've just been keeping up to date with the messages from people in our local groups, finding out what's happening up north and down in General Luna. So the actual epicenter of the earthquake closer to the south of the island, about 30 kilometers south, and we've been looking for videos and updates from those guys to see if anything bad happened down in Davao or in General Luna. I got a message from my itinerary Jane, who lives just over here, straight away in the morning, just checking in on us, making sure we were okay, and we had a little bit of a communication to see what was going on. Papang's over there having some breakfast, and everything is as normal. As you can see, it's actually quite a beautiful sunny day right now. Thought I would get some sunshine while I'm out here giving you guys the update as well, and show you the entire land space. So this is pretty much it. As you can see, we've come quite low down now, and the house and the houses are actually up high on the hill above sea level. All of our solar power is still working. There was a brief power cut about 20 minutes after the earthquake happened, but our solar continued to work. We've actually still got the AC running. The inverter is humming away. You can see here we're generating like 4.2 kilowatts of power right now, 61% battery. In about 1 hour's time, that battery will be completely full, and I think this is another step towards disaster preparedness, having your own power supply, having your own Starlink internet, which is kind of separated from the government services, which can fail, and at least you are in complete control of whether or not you have connectivity. And obviously, because we went through the big typhoon and we had no connectivity and we had no electricity for months after that, and it was devastating, people thought that we were dead. We have preparedness for that, and it does take some of the pressure off. But I will say that now, having experienced like 4 earthquakes in the last two and a half weeks, it is starting to feel a little bit scary, because we've been told that this fault line all the way up to Manila is moving a lot, and there's a chance that a mega quake could be coming to Manila like in the next, probably by the end of this month, early next month. And obviously it's just speculation, but it's based on some data, and Sacha's dad lives up there, so we're in communication with him and just generally talking to people that are up that way. If there was going to be a major hyper damaging earthquake here in the Philippines, it would be through the center of the city, because that's where one of the tectonic plates is actually going through land. Here, the tectonic plates align like around the islands here, like across the sea. So if we have any big ones, they're normally out at sea by a little bit and somewhat under the ocean. This one that we had today was actually only 10 kilometers deep, so we definitely did feel it, and hopefully the aftershocks won't be too bad. And let's also hope that if there is a mega quake coming, the people who are at the worst affected will be at least a little bit prepared for it. Let's get that message out there if possible. It's also worth looking at a little bit of what a 7 on the Richter scale looks like. One of my friends sent me this footage this morning of Davao's earthquake last week, and it was in one of the local universities, and you can see what it's like to experience the difference between a 7 and a 6.2, and also a 7 going underneath your city versus it being out at sea. It's a huge difference. Some people say that even a 5 on the Richter scale, if it's right under you and that's the epicenter, you could feel it badly, it could damage a lot. It really does depend on a lot of factors, and that's why we are giving you this update right now to let you know that we are okay and we do have some form of preparedness, and we're just working through it bit by bit. So we'll keep you guys updated, perhaps on Instagram and Facebook as a more live thing. This is just like the big video to get the message out. So far so good, and thank you to everybody who has been sending their messages. It really does mean something to us that you care. And I'm going to end the video for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.